High school seniors, hard to believe, but the school year is starting to wind down. We are, after all, almost in May. Things are starting to move very quickly for these high school seniors and preparing for their next significant life step, which is oftentimes going away to college. And it doesn't matter if they move 2 states away or 2 hours away. Leaving home for the first time can have a significant impact on them. There's a lot of things to do to get them ready to go to college and to be prepared for success in college. A lot of that is the obvious, right? You got to get the meal plan, you got to get a dorm room plan, that kind of stuff. But you also need to start thinking about mental health as well. We're told, according to a recent study in 2022, found that college students experience a 135% increase in depression and a 110% increase in anxiety when they go away to college. So with me to talk about all of this are a couple of counselors from the Village School. We're going to be talking to high school counselor Rayla Willis and college counselor Bridget Adiukwu from the Village School. They're here joining me now live to talk about all this. That checklist I talked about, I think parents know it quite well. Where's my kid going to eat? Where are they going to sleep? What classes are going to take? But that mental health aspect of it oftentimes probably isn't on that checklist at all, is it?
Sometimes it's not. I would say that, when you're thinking about all of the things that you need to do in order to prepare, sometimes mental health is last on the list. And it does need to actually be higher on the list, because when your mental health is not working, then nothing else seems to work as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Are you surprised to hear the levels of increase, though? 135% increase in depression, 110% increase in anxiety. That seems a lot.
I will be honest and say that I'm not surprised, actually. Since the pandemic, we've seen a significant increase in mental health and when it comes to anxiety and depression. That transition has been difficult for many students. And so I'm actually not surprised to hear that the numbers are as high as they are.
All right, so what can parents do about it? What should they be talking to their high school seniors about, leading into this, to make sure that there is a good outcome when they send their kids off to college?
I think that I know from the college counseling perspective, we really like to focus on the fit student. So making sure that fit is met, and you've really done your homework and due diligence. There are so many resources out there to see what a school offers for you and your particular student. If you know that your student is maybe going to be working for the first time. And I think that the adulting aspect of the college process is where we see so much of the stress and anxiety between students and their families, because a lot of them are doing this for the first time.
Right.
Yes.
Not meaning to interrupt you, but how involved should mom and dad be in this? After all, these aren't, your high school students. These are now young adults. And, should mom be calling and dad be calling on the cell phone every single day? Should they be tracking their whereabouts? Should they break it, back up to like once a week? How involved should mom and dad be in this process?
I think that's more about communication of what works for each family, because some parents, it's time to move from the parent phase to the advisor phase of life, and having those conversations ahead of time of what that's going to look like in order to make sure that your child is, functioning and being able to handle the stresses of moving into adulthood are very important.
How do you know you've gone beyond homesick? I mean, I was in college. You guys were probably in college too. I remember, passing people who were on the phone saying, "Well, I can't do this," but a couple of weeks later, they were just as happy and functional as everybody else, seemingly. So homesickness does play a role in this. When does it move beyond that?
It moves beyond that when a child, a college student, feels that they're ready. And so doing things over the summertime, if you haven't been doing those things for the first, those 4 years of high school, are going to be important. The basics, right? For example, do they know how to do their own laundry? Do they know how to budget? All of those things are a part of making sure that they are prepared and ready. And the more that they know before they go, the better off they'll be.
Yeah, something else. A lot of colleges, at least the ones that my kids, they're young adults, are in their 20s, and we've gone through this a couple of different times with them. A lot of these schools have, what they call, I guess, a student success center or a student resource center. And maybe sometimes we're sending our sons and daughters off to school, and they were, the star student in high school, but when they get up into the university, they may not realize that they can use these resources, and maybe making it clear to them where they can find some help available to them if they feel like they're in a little bit of depression or have some anxiety.
Yes, I would say most schools now, there's been an increase in the amount of mental health services. And you think, I would say for the seniors out there now and the families, check on those services for the colleges that your students are considering, because they have the mental health services, they have the student support. There's additional academic support. Me and my writing center were best friends in college because I was a strong student, but my writing wasn't at the academic level I think that my college was expecting. So we understand that there are going to be some of those challenges, and I think that colleges are doing better to really be equipped to fully serve all aspects of students now.
And you guys mentioned communication earlier on. How do parents go about talking about this particular subject to their children as those children get ready to move on? What should they say?
I think it's just, what do you need to know? What do you already know? And just using all of that information to kind of move into, the next phase. I think it's really important that they know what their coping skills are, because even calling home and getting those reminders of what works, go take a walk. You never know what your coping skills are until you have to use them. So having those conversations ahead of time, what have you used in the past that has worked with, when you are stressed, when you are feeling some sort of anxiety? I think all of those conversations are extremely important. Even the small things what we think are small things, right? If you have a family vacation, helping them plan, having your child help you plan for that vacation. If you are going 2 or 3 states away, it's likely you're going to have to book a plane ticket. Well, that's one thing that you can help them with if you are helping with the planning of a vacation, for example.
Gotcha. Get them some good hands-on stuff. We do, ladies, have breaking news to get to. I'm so sorry that we didn't have a chance to spend as much time as we wanted to talking about the subject, because it is very important for all of us, even if your kids aren't going away to school, to know about this stuff. So again, I wanted to thank Rayla, Willis, and Bridget Adiukwu from the Village School to talk to us about this, a very important subject. Thanks so much, ladies. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You guys